Hi, Revere, and welcome to our Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today we have a special community veteran. He's a professional wrestler. His name is Raymond.
Rocky Raymond, what about the Boston bad boy, you pencil neck geek? If you're going to get my name right, get it tight. You're with Rocky Raymond tonight on where? Your source of community cable with who?
Revere TV8.
The Veterans, Revere Veterans Society. Do I got to run your show for you?
No.
Do I have to step in and play hardball with you?
No, Rocky, but let me tell you something. You're lucky you're talking to a friend.
Let go of my arm already. I know you guys. You guys with the veterans, come on. Take it easy. That's my forehand.
Hey, Rocky, first of all, thank you for taking the time to come on the show, but I'm going to beg you. Before I started talking to you, I took out an insurance policy on my life because I'm worried about it.
Well, there's no need. It's great to be here. I'll get out of my character a little bit for you, but don't let me go back into my character because a lot of people say my character is a true life story of Rocky Raymond.
It is, Rocky, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because tell us something about you growing up and how the heck you got interested in wrestling.
Well, you know something? Life is like dog sleds.
Good. Yep.
Unless you're the head dog, the scenery will never change. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Right. Keep
and
going.
And you people out there know what I'm saying. Right out here in Revere Land. I'm no stranger to Revere TV. You all know it. Often imitated but never duplicated. Right here, it's Rocky Raymond, the only Boston bad boy left. That's right. There was a couple. One went down, one frowned, one went away. But guess what? This one's here to stay right here at Revere TV. And we want to talk to you about the great thing that the veterans are doing in this town. And your show, I've seen it on TV. It's phenomenal. I've seen all the things that you've been doing with all these people that are working here at Revere TV. And, you know, you got to give them the props here in Revere because I go to other cable stations. It's not like Revere TV. They don't got the green screen.
Hey, Rocky, why don't we just switch around because you do a better job than I do.
Tell me some things, man, Morris. Tell me some things about the veterans. Come on.
Okay, first of all, let me tell you, we got a great veteran organization in the city of Revere. We got one of the best commissioners in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. His name is Nick Gulla.
Nick Blue, I'm not familiar because I was lucky enough not to have to go into the military and do the march. And,
you were lucky enough, but let me tell you, we're lucky enough to have you as a community veteran.
Well, let me tell you.
So we salute you for what you do for us.
Well, I salute you because you're doing a lot of great things for the veterans, and these guys really need it. All the things that they do for this country to keep us free, walk in the lands, walk on the sidewalks as a free person. We can get up every day and do what we want. Why? Because what?
Because of people like you and me.
And the veterans.
That's what I am.
That's right.
I'm a senior too, by the way, besides being a veteran, you know.
Yep,
I'm a senior.
Yeah.
And we had a great veteran on the show, which I would like to thank him again. I always do thank him. His name is Sal Santoro. Maybe you've heard of him. 100 years plus.
Have you heard of, you know Shirley Avenue is a great area here.
Definitely.
Well, I grew up on Shirley Avenue.
Tell us about it then.
Well, I used to go down and get a babki on Saturday morning. Cinnamon and raisin, and I get a flat roll, or maybe go in there and get the Jewish neighborhood that you come from.
Where did you learn that Italian accent?
Because I got a kabitz with you, I got to do a little kabitzing. You know how to kabitz?
Jawohl.
Okay, kabitz with me and tell me a little more. But Shirley Ave was a great, great neighborhood. Growing up in Shirley Ave was the best. We had the beach on Easter Sunday. We had the beach all summer when we got out of school. There was none of these crazy people running around molesting kids, trying to get them in cars. There wasn't a infatuation of drugs the way it is now in all these towns. And all these towns around, there's one thing, all the wrongs are right and all the rights are wrongs today. That's what we got to get back on. We got to get focused. We got to keep the kids in sports and out of courts. We got to keep them all. We got to give them hugs and get rid of the drugs and keep them in the right fashion, going straight full ahead, and maybe even going into the military or going into the Navy, going in, be a Marine, be a man.
You know what I would like to see, Rocky, is have the military have mandatory, like some countries do, 1 year of military service for everyone in there, because I think it's the best thing that could happen. It was the best thing that happened to me. So
well, like I say, good strokes, different folks, all that stuff, but it's all I'm not a military person. No one's going to tell me what time I get up and shave and what fight on for somebody. I'm with it. I'm with the veterans. I'm with the force of all this terrorism going on. We got the thing in Boston's coming on again.
Oh, that's right. We got the
marathon's coming,
right.
And they're talking on the news about all these things. They're bringing up all the bad subjects. I mean, why are they going to bring all this stuff up, all the bad stuff? Why don't they talk about all the good stuff that's come out of it?
Right, because the good stuff don't make news. It's only the bad stuff that makes the news. That's what people want to hear. They want to. By the way, this is a beautiful belt, and by the way, it's New England heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Serge, if you can focus in on that, just to get a beautiful shot of look at the shot of that belt.
That's the oldest section New England Heavyweight Wrestling Championship on the independent network. I won that belt back in, I believe it was '86 in a 2-day tournament. We were at a couple of fairs up in New England, and a lot of great people have, won that belt. Axe Demolition, the Warlord, Astro Man, Tony Atlas just lost that belt to Demolition this year in Bangor, Maine, at the Bangor State Fair, because EPW is everywhere. We go from Boston to Bangor, we go from coast to coast and border to border.
Fantastic. Now, I'd like to ask you something of later on. I love this belt, and I would like to have it, and you said you wouldn't give it to me. But can you and I have a hand wrestling later on the show? I'm going to take the belt.
Are you challenging the Boston Bab? Are you serious?
Yeah, later.
You want to have an arm wrestle match with me?
I want to make sure I got most of the show in before we start.
I don't know if you checked out the situation.
I'm
but
glad you mentioned the arm wrestling.
I'm only about 298, and I don't hesitate.
How much you weigh?
I'm 298, and I don't hesitate.
No problem. I'll spot you 110 pounds.
110, okay.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You want me to arm wrestle a guy with the Atlanta Falcons shirt on? Couldn't you at least wear the New England Patriots or the Boston Bruins, something that was, in Boston?
You got to forgive me.
Trying to intimidate me for Atlanta? Are you from Atlanta?
No.
Come on.
But do you know what city the Atlanta Falcons come from?
Well, I would hope Atlanta.
Very good, very good.
Here we go with the BS again. You know a guy named BS?
Oh, talking about BS.
BS.
I'm glad you mentioned BS. It's a great wrestler that knows you, and I spoke to him. His name is Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, you better believe it.
Tell us about him, because...
Oh, Bruno's a legend. He's a living legend. He just got put into the Hall of Fame last year. And, he's been around the ropes. He's been around... he won the WWF, Tri-WF Championship, which is the old-time wrestling with Killer Kowalski, Rubber Bob Russell. Those guys go way back. You remember Rubber Bob Russell from Revere, right?
Yep.
And then Killer Kowalski, Sammartino, and a couple of those guys, Dominic DiNucci. Back in the old days when wrestling was wrestling, when, they got in the ring and wrestled, they didn't get in the ring and talk all day long, or a couple of flimsies up there, flashing their cash or whatever, today it's all divas and, whatever the case may be. Back in the good old days of hard knock wrestling, when I started, I was just a young boy. I wrestled Kowalski. I was 21 years old, and he was still at the peak of his career with the iron claw, the long endurance. He was the king of endurance. He was a vegetarian. He didn't eat the meats, and he could go. He could go hours in the ring without even breaking a sweat.
Fantastic. You also wrestled with another great legend. I believe his name was Walter Killer Kowalski.
That's right, Kowalski. I just mentioned that I'd wrestled him when I was 21, and I was on many tours with Bruno and his son David Sammartino, and throughout Pennsylvania, Allentown, all parts of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Canada, Puerto Rico. I went to South America with Kowalski and Chief Jay Strongbow. I wrestled in Florida in '83 for 8-9 months. Went from Florida to Charlotte, from Charlotte to Georgia, then back up into New York and Canada. I got to travel a lot with the wrestling. It was much like the military, like a sailor. You go to different ports and different things, and basically the wrestling was the same way, because you traveled around and you got to see the world, because I would have never seen parts of the world that I have seen. And, like I take you to places where you don't want to go and things like that. But sometimes it gets a little hectic, but, all in all, I did get to see a lot of part of the world I would have never.
Likewise here, if it wasn't for the military, I'll be honest with you, I never would have been to Germany and Austria and France and Switzerland and Northern Italy twice in my lifetime. It was because of the military. Once in the military, then when I got home, the State Department called me. I went to work for them for a couple of years, and then they wanted me to be steady with the State Department. But my wife didn't want to travel, my future wife at the time, so I had a choice between my wife or a career. I'd rather have my wife.
Oh, you're one of those guys, huh?
Yeah.
You're one of those guys.
We've
your
been
future,
married.
your past. How about the present?
We've been married 64 years.
Oh, God bless you. Let me shake your hand again on that now.
Okay. Easy.
Watch out.
Easy, come on.
You want to really arm wrestle? I got a big
we'll wrestle later.
Wait a minute. What? You got something in that glove? He's got something in that. You got something in that.
Look at I had.
No, you got something on your own. You got something on your wrist there.
Forget about that.
No.
Tell us about that flag, the bandana you have.
Well, this
there.
isn't carried around me for good luck. I'm not much on doing many things, but my thoughts with these veterans that you say that are old veterans, young veterans, or are over there with the military in Afghanistan and all these people and kids and going out with without their fathers now because they've been killed in this war.
Yeah.
And that's the way I carry it, just for a little memorabilia, memories on.
That's
on
nice
with
of
it.
you.
And then we're going to get it signed by some of the wrestlers, and then we're going to give it to the veterans, and then maybe we can have a raffle for it here to raise some funds for the Revere Veteran Society here.
I got a perfect organization for you to give it. We have a gentleman, and his name is Mr. Paul Monty, down in Raynham, Massachusetts. His son, Jared C. Monty, is a recipient of the Medal of Honor. Got killed in Afghanistan trying to save his friends, his boys, his troops, and there. So someday when you get this up, I will speak to Mayor Dan Rizzo, who's one of the best mayors the city has had.
Maybe we can get some boots and tights on him.
Who?
Mayor Rizzo.
He already served his country in the
I'm
Navy.
talking about serving this town. We'll do a fundraiser. I'll put it on the line right now. I'll put that belt on the line against Dan Rizzo.
Okay.
We'll set the ring up in the City Hall.
Well, we'll set it up at his favorite place, the Casa Lucia.
I'll tell you what, I'll do another better one for you. You and Rizzo against me and Ambrosino, an Italian tag match.
You don't want to start with me. You really don't want to
A
start.
little Jewish man in the ring with a bunch of Italians.
Don't make any difference. Me and Rizzo could lick the world.
I know you can lick something. The world. That's a big lick. You gotta have a big. I don't know. Do you know the guy from?
Well, people say I got a big mouth.
Well, I don't know. You're talking about something else when you're talking about licking.
Okay.
You know the guy
No,
from?
hey, we're right.
Oh, wow. You know the guy from Kiss, huh?
Yep.
You know him?
Not personally.
You know the guy with the big boots and the long
Yep.
tongue.
By the way,
Can you say
talking-
tongue on Revere TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, you can say
We'll
that.
make
By the
sure
way,
because
you
I
also
don't-
wear a mask once in a while. Now I got to ask you a question about that.
Well, there's some mornings where I get up, I don't shave. You know,
No, no.
I just don't shave.
That's what you say, but I think you wear the mask because you don't want to be identified.
Well,
by
I'm growing this thing here because, you know, sometimes when you're alone, you know, you give it a little pull, a little tug. You know, it's like having, you know, like Betsy Ross. It's like having Betsy Ross around. You know what I mean? But anyhow, I got a competition going with a friend of mine. Who can grow the longest, whatever. So we're gonna do this for the summer months, and then at the end of the summer, we're gonna, you know, it's a money thing. You know, it's got to be a money thing if I'm doing it.
Right.
You know, you got to make some kind of cash, you know. But we're doing a contest, and we're going to get who's at the longest beard. Maybe by Christmas I can come on and be the Santa Claus for the veterans.
Well, I had a Santa Claus that came on and he promised me a Rolls Royce, and he promised me one of those great watches. Those are
You want a Rolex?
a Rolex. I'm still waiting. So Santa Claus, if you're listening to the show, keep your promise. By the way, I got to ask you a question. How far back does wrestling really go? If you
Well,
could, I mean,
Way before my days, and
I hope so.
I'm sure it's probably back to the Greco-Roman days with the Romans.
That's before my
and
days
the Greeks
too.
and you know, the Greco-Roman style of wrestling is all upper body, so it's all from the waist up. That's why you get that Greco-Roman style of wrestling. I traveled with a guy, I don't know if you remember the Iron Sheik
No.
from Iran, Tehran. He was actually the actual bodyguard for the Ayatollah, but he did the, and I believe it was either 68 or 61, wherever the Mexico City, he won the Greco-Roman style of amateur wrestling. And in 68, he was actually a coach too for the American team. And he was, we had him up here a couple of years back upstairs when the cable was upstairs.
Yep.
And he came down and we did a show. People may have seen on TV, the interview with the Iron Sheik. Because, you know, I get all the stars, you know.
I know that.
The stars are out tonight because, like I told you before, this will be your best show, but it might be your last show if you look at me like that again.
Okay.
I see you looking at me through the side.
We're going to have
I know what you're trying to do here.
No, I want to win that belt. That's what I
that
want
belt,
to do.
forget about it. You
No.
better get some cupcakes up if you want that belt. No, you better get something going on here with double dogs or something. Ring dings. You didn't have no ring dings and milk here for the Roston bad boy?
You're on
Not
a
that.
diet.
I'm on a diet. Everything I see, I eat. No, I am on a diet.
Are
I'm
you
getting
really?
down there. I'm entering the bodysuit contest for Revere.
I got to tell you, you're familiar with New York, Madison Square Garden.
Absolutely.
And you wrestled there, I believe, let me guess, between 15 and 17 times.
That's right. Madison Square Garden is the Mecca of pro wrestling. That's where all the big boys used to play. You know, Gorilla Monsoon and guys going way back. Let me see if this one rings a bell. Argentina Rocca. You remember Argentina Rocca? He was back in the 60s. Well, you go far back as Kowalski and San Martino and those guys. But anyways, that's where the money and the box office king of Madison Square Garden was Bruno San Martino. You know, he sold out Madison Square Garden over 60 consecutive times with no ring music and no, you know, glitz and glam and fireworks like they have today. He used to walk out with a pair of boots and a pair of tights and something that I call Bruno San Martino charisma.
Right. Those other things I mentioned, you said they were used to protect the gladiators or the wrestlers from the line?
These particular gauntlets are used to keep my girlfriends off me when they're running at me. Oh. I got a ball, you know, because sometimes, no, these here were made by, you know Joe Gulla.
Yes, definitely.
He had the upholstery shop, and he had a couple of friends there that were doing the motorcycle stuff. Like this here, this was made by Charlie. God rest his soul, used to work for Joe Gulla way back in the day. And I go way back with Joe and Frank and all those guys. But he also made this belt, Charlie. He made the felt back and everything.
Did a beautiful job.
You know, these guys are excellent in their work. And then Joe went on to do motorcycle seats and so on and so forth. But a gentleman from Revere, holler out to Rick Sano, wherever he may be in Revere, and he used to do some stuff with the special needs. I told you we had a couple of friends that he used to go around, take them to the wrestling shows and take them out. But Rick Sano actually made these. This is just a look. This is just part of the character of Rocky Raymond. This is just something that you put on as a character. I don't live this character day in and day out. A lot of people say I do, but I don't.
Okay, we talked about Madison Square Garden.
Right.
You also wrestled, I believe, maybe I'm wrong on this one, at the old Boston Garden?
Boston Garden, Jack Witchy's Sports Arena.
Yeah.
You remember Jack Witchy's up in North Attleboro? It was like a big barn. And then I've been everywhere in New England. I wrestled for $35 a night, enough to get a hotel room and a hamburger. And you were happy back in those days because you were in the business of professional wrestling. You know, we used to go to Bangor, Maine. We used to go way up. Old-time guys, wrestling fans may know back in the years of Revere, Santos. He used to run all Revere, the small shows and stuff like that, but he was an old-time promoter with Gene Dundee, where Joe Gulla started, and Joe Gulla wrestled Jim Nance, the football player, at one time.
Oh.
Joe Gulla, oh yeah, he had a good little, just a little bit, the timing was off just a little bit, about 10, 15 years, the wrestling wasn't quite as popular as it is now, but had it been that popular back in the days that when, you know, Frank and Joe were the twins, and there wasn't too many twin wrestlers in the business. There was the Tollers brothers, you had the Funks, but they didn't have no twins. They used to have copycats like the Valiant brothers that say they were twins or because they had the blonde hair, but Frank and Joe were legitimately twins. The Tollers brothers were twins, not twins, but they were brothers. But there's very, very rare twins in the wrestling business.
Talking about brothers, you knew Joe and John Gulla, right?
I knew Johnny, I knew Frank, I knew Joe.
Was
Joe
John Gulla a wrestler too?
And his sister too.
Was John Gulla a wrestler?
Johnny was, no. John, I believe, was more into the refrigeration and stuff like that. And I know he did some extracurricular stuff with food at some nightclubs, with the sausage carts and stuff. But everyone in that family was a go-getter. I know
Tiny too, huh?
Tiny was a great guy. And let me tell you something about the Gullas, and I say this on record. They would be the closest thing to family. I used to go to their family functions all the time. Christmas, you go down there. Tiny got the big thing of meatballs cooking, and you know, everyone was there, and there's always, you know, fun jokes going on. I remember I put my gloves on one time, and I put my gloves on, and I put my hand in there, and I got all a bunch of cookies crunched up inside my gloves. That's Frank playing a prank on me, you know what I mean? I can tell you some other pranks that he played on me too, but this is a family-oriented program, and we can't go that far.
Okay.
But they were a great family, and you know, I'm very saddened by Johnny. I was on the road that night. I didn't get a chance to get to his. My condolences go out to them because, like I said, the closest things to family, and they were family people because they were always together.
Yep.
Always having barbecues and foods and stuff like. Tiny was the best. He was the mentor. You know what they say, without a good foundation, you don't have a good building.
That's right.
And Tiny was a good foundation, so the building was built.
Let me tell you a little about John Gulla, because I used to do crossing guard on Garfield Avenue by the school. And I used to do, one winter time, it was blistering cold. And John came up during lunchtime with a soda, hot dog, cookies, to give not only to me, but to the other crossing guards that were working around the area. That's the type of people we had over there at that time. I also want you to talk about the Patriot.
The Patriot, the wrestler, the Patriot.
Right.
Well, he's just another, like I say, a lot of people jump on that red, white, and blue situation. He's a masked wrestler that travels throughout the circuits, and he wrestled as the Patriot, being with the red, white, and blue. He carries the colors high, and he's, he tries to go in there against the bad guys, and like anything else, there's got to be good and bad. That's the whole thing with the wrestling, a good guy, bad guy, so to speak, and then he's just another character. But he's very popular in the area, and a lot of the fairs and stuff, the people, either we have the world famous wrestling clown come in and give you some balloons, or we can have the Patriot give you some flags, or you can have the Boston Bad Boy break your arm today and you can go home in a cast. Would you like that?
We'll see who's
Would you
gonna
like that? Answer the question.
You may not like it
You're
either.
pointing your finger at me now?
Yeah.
Sorry.
By the way, that's all right. You have your own show about wrestling on Revere TV, I believe.
Yeah, it's called Fact, Fiction, and Rocky Raymond.
Right, and let the people know when you're on, so we can watch you.
We've been on
Yeah,
TV.
but what
Come
days?
on.
Come
We've been
on.
on TV.
I know.
Well, we're on Wednesday night. We keep it tight. I believe we're on from 8 to 9, 9 to 10. We got the Legends of Pro Wrestling that was actually invented by the man in here. I know everyone knows this gentleman's name. Rick Promise, the voice of Revere TV. He's
the one that started that?
He's the quintessential stud muffin now. What do you mean? He's got a voice like Frank Sinatra.
He's got a beautiful voice.
Oh, he gets it clear. He's a good speller, too. He taught me how to spell better than Revere High School.
I got to tell you, not only you.
Fix all my spellings.
He corrects me and helps me out with my vocabulary.
Well, you better, I'll have him come in here because he's coming to my next show. He's training. He's on a high-protein diet, low carbs, and what he's telling me is that he might don the tights at one of my wrestling shows this summer, and I'll have him come down and wrestle you in Rizzo, and we'll give you the 747 splash. That was a move that was invented by Rick Promise.
Rocky, I'm going to tell you, you may be conceited, but you don't know who you're talking to.
Do you know the 747 splash? When I slam you down, then I throw him off the ropes at the velocity of 7,000 pounds. He comes down on you and covers you like a pancake on a Sunday morning.
You got the wrong guy, because I am going to arm wrestle you in about 1 minute or 2 minutes.
1 minute or 2 minutes?
That's right.
It's only going to take me a second, and
That's
I
right.
want to see the contract. What's in it for me?
I thought we had a gentleman's
You
agreement.
think you're going to walk away with my belt?
That's right.
The oldest section New England
That's
title
right.
here in Revere?
I'm going to take that belt and bring it to the veterans.
Did you take your medicine this morning?
I not only took it this morning, I took it before I went on the
Well,
show.
you better go and get another double dose if you think you're going to beat me.
But before we start, Rocky, I got to be honest with you. I want it to be fair and square.
You keep laughing the way you do. I'll just put you down in a second. You won't know what hit you. You'll be watching the Falcons. You're going to be watching the Falcons because your head's going to be right down in that shirt looking at it, and that's where you're going to be.
Okay, Rocky, hold on for a second. What did you eat this morning? I've got to ask you that. No, I don't. I mean, I don't want the food to come out.
I just got to tell you, I had French toast this morning. I'm quite the chef. I flip it, I dip it, I even snip it.
You're not only, beside wrestling, you're a poet too?
I'm a poet, I didn't even know it.
But you know it now.
Let me tell you something. You didn't think I got this big by not eating food. You don't think someone's going to come and cook for me every day, do you?
I have no idea. Do you eat it? I mean...
Yeah, I got to cook for myself. I got to fend for myself.
And what do you usually eat for yourself?
Well, I have a breakfast. Sometimes I have a bagel in the morning.
That's nice.
Sometimes I have a babki in the morning.
That's nice, too.
Yeah, and then I have some scrambled eggs.
All right. Look, when I asked you before we went on the show if you wanted to hand wrestle me, you shook like a leaf. Why don't we do it now in front of the... Let me get over
Listen,
there.
wait a minute now. I'm not sure about this because I seen you load something inside.
There's nothing here.
Wait a minute. There's something... First of all, you a righty or a lefty?
I'm a righty.
Well, I'm going to give you the upper hand here because I'm a lefty. So I'm going to give you the okay.
All right, which hand do you want to use?
Listen, don't get too close to me because I don't want to break this screen.
You won't break it.
I don't want you to back off on me now.
Okay, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to put your hand if I do, and whoever wins gets that belt. Is that fair?
Well, you're talking a lot, but I don't know. I've been trying to ask you what you got for me. I mean, you know that song?
I'll tell you what. I'll put up Betsy Ross against your belt. How does that sound?
Betsy Ross? What am I going to do with that? It's not even life-size.
Well, you're not married. You could take her home.
Well, there's a reason why I'm not married.
Okay.
Wait a minute now.
What do we got
here? Listen, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. We got plenty of time here before.
No, we don't. We only got a couple of minutes left.
You're pushing me here. You're really getting me edged now. What did you have to eat this morning?
I had French toast.
No, you did not. I had French toast.
Was it your French toast?
Yeah, it was mine. Now don't start an argument. Now you're trying to start an argument.
I'm sorry. No wonder you look starved today. And I had a bowl of Wheaties too. Okay, so let's get the wrestling over with. No, you can. Is that okay?
Wow.
Okay, you got the advantage.
Listen, if something bad happens to you right now, I don't want you to try to, get on me.
No.
I got my lawyer with me here today,
I know, Randy.
I got my lawyer here today. He's dressed to impress and he's here.
Okay, let's go.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I might have to take this off.
No, leave it on. Leave it on.
Wait a minute now. All right now.
Okay. Let me get over there.
Watch out! You better wait a minute now. You're not gonna pull me off the. All right, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. We're pulling in. Is that close?
Yep.
Is that right?
Right. Okay.
Wait a minute. Whoa! Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Betsy. You could have watched this too. You could referee. Hold on now.
Okay.
Okay, Betsy. Now you tell him. You tell him on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go. Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Rocky,
This guy got more strength. Wait a minute. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on, Betsy. Betsy. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, hold on. I didn't mean that, Rocky.
Oh.
Rocky, I didn't mean that. Put the gun away.
What? Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Rocky.
Oh.
Ooh, Rocky, I'm
Man,
sorry.
what did you do?
I'm
This is
sorry.
the way you treat a guest on this show on my arm.
I'm sorry. Folks, you saw it. I'm sorry, Rocky. And God bless you, Rocky, for coming on the show. Thank you. God bless the city of Revere, the people, our troops, and
Get them here.
our great country, the United States of America. Thank you for the belt, Rocky. Thank you. I'm sorry about your arm, Rocky, but you and I had a gentleman's agreement. Thank you for the belt. I want the belt. I hope
You're going to hear from my attorney.
again.
EPW will be contacting you. My lawyer, Mark Estridge, he's going to contact you with papers because this is a bad injury. This is my torn bicep, and I knew you had something in there. It's the only reason why you beat me. You beat me because you had something in that glove.
There was nothing in the glove.
Yes, you did.
Didn't you check me before?
We're here, right here, the Revere Veterans community right here. We're here to tell you some time slots. I'm the Boston bad boy, Rocky Raymond. I want you to watch this show because it's a great, great show. Tell you some great, great things that are going on here in Revere with the veterans. We want to get it on Tuesday, that's right, from 6 to 7 p.m. And then Friday, that's right, in the a.m. from 10 to 11. And then you get it all right. That's right, we'll keep it tight with Morris. You can catch it again 5 to 6, noontime. And with this guy here, tell him a little bit more about what else we're doing.
And if you would like to get the show and get an improvement, or you have any good ideas, please email us at rvc@reveretv.org. I'll repeat that one more time, rvc@reveretv.org. And Rocky Raymond, thank you for your belt. I'll give you a chance to win it back. And
Be there!
Okay. Thank you, Rocky.